Yay! Oh my goodness. Do we have some people in the house? How do I guess I should probably get onto this too. I've been slacking.
We just have it here. I think
That's fine. We can just have it there.
Hey,
Do we have some people?
We do.
I'm so sorry that it took us so long, you guys. We actually tested this all out last night with John, and then tonight everything just went bananas. So yeah, now we're here. Hold on. Say hello if you're here. Comment. Give us a hi. Tell us what you're drinking this evening. Leslie and I are drinking old fashions.
Yes, Lisa's here.
Hi, Lisa.
Brian's here. There's a few other concurrent viewers.
Oh.
Oh.
Viewers.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Sarah, hey.
Hey. This is our only holiday party. They didn't hear the song, just you guys did. I was talking about how I'm getting wild because we can't do anything else.
This is all we have.
So come along for the ride, you guys.
Yay, Megan's here. What's up, girl?
Hi, Megan.
Ripping that merch.
Yeah, that's merch. We don't have any merch on. We have it there, though.
I have it behind me.
See our beautiful print of our Christmas logo? Ah, everybody point.
Yes.
No, we should have sent you one. I wasn't even thinking we should have sent you a poster so you
I
could
was
have
gonna
had it.
print one out. I was gonna try to print it out behind me.
Page?
Forgot.
Oh, if he colored it himself, that'd be great.
Yeah, if you had colored it yourself, that would be spectacular.
I'm lacking. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Nobody did it anyway. We were like, this might be fun. That's all right. Sometimes I have ideas. Sometimes they work. Sometimes they don't. It's fine. All right.
Veronica is here. She's drinking water. Thank you for that input.
Stay hydrated, Veronica.
Yes.
It's important.
For sure.
I'm going to stay hydrated with this bourbon.
Nice. Well, should we get started?
Yeah, let's get rolling. Hello, fiends, and welcome to our live 2020 Winter Holiday Extravaganza.
Winter Extravaganza.
Oh, I love when Leslie has a song. Since we love the holidays but are also committed to bringing you strange and spooky tales week after week, we thought that tonight we could explore some of the darker and lesser known holiday traditions throughout the world. And we know we aren't covering nearly all of them, but we plan on being around for a long time, so if you want more, you'll just have to come back next year.
Pew, 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 pew.
Leslie will give you the guns.
I don't know why I did that.
Maybe later there'll be an air horn. I don't know. Keep drinking. We'll see.
Ooh.
Also, we have our good friend John Rattacasa here.
Hi.
Hi, John. He's going to be doing a wild holiday look for you all.
I am.
And John is also going to talk to us a little bit about Yule later on, which I'm super excited to learn about because most people don't realize that what we now know as Christmas actually has a lot of pre-Christian roots. And there are two things we love over here at We Would Be Dead, and it is history and pagans. So
I love a good pagan.
I love a good history. So I'm really looking forward to that. But first I'm going to kick off our night with our most requested dark Christmas creature. That's a lot of alliteration. The king of creepy Christmas, the Krampus. And as visual aid and a super special treat for those who have not guessed, John is going to transform himself into the Krampus live before your very eyes.
Oh my goodness!
Yay! Wow. Is there anything you want to tell us about this evening's preparation before we get started?
So this prosthetic here that I'm going to be using, I know it's super spooky, was sent to me by one of my friends in LA who works on a bunch of awesome movies. They wound up making it, so I'm super excited to wear it. And I'm going to be getting to use some of my special effects knowledge, which I went to school for. So this is going to be great. I'm very excited.
Yay. I'm so excited to see how this progresses. It's going to be scary.
It is going to be scary.
No. That's good. We're here for the scary. So while you get started on your Krampus face, I will tell people about exactly what the Krampus is.
I'm so excited.
Yay. And how difficult would you say this is on a scale from 1 to 10 of your makeup looks? John?
Probably high up there.
Cool. So we gave you a serious challenge.
have a cape on because I'm going to get all powdery.
Oh my.
But yeah, I know.
You're breaking up for us.
Pretty smooth sailing, I think. I think I pre-planned very.
Yes.
Hello.
We know you've done a lot of prep work. And we'll be checking in with you and your like makeup progress as the story goes, but people are going to be able to see you in real time, so.
Perfect.
So let's get to it. Also, thank you for always being up for like the wild stuff we ask you to do.
Literally anytime.
Yes. So the Krampus, many of you will probably have heard of this legendary Christmas beast, but most click-through articles and Christmas horror films neglect to go into his rich history. The Krampus comes to us from Alpine folklore, specifically the Netherlands, where his traditions are still upheld. But in order to get to the Krampus, we first must talk briefly about Santa Claus. American Santa has evolved into sort of a jack-of-all-trades, the man who keeps track of all the world's children, annotating who has been bad and who has been good. He then brings gifts to the good little boys and girls and coal to the baddies. Why coal? Well, I wish I had a more exciting explanation for this one, but unfortunately, it's pretty simple. Coal was commonly burned in hearths and fireplaces to heat homes and cook food. And Sinterklaas, and his other controversial assistant, Black Pete, also Italy's La Befana, and sometimes the Krampus himself, are said to enter homes by way of coming down the chimney. Coal was the closest thing they would have to grab and leave as kind of a slight or a dig for children who misbehaved. So basically, they were leaving them trash.
Such trash.
I really thought it was going to be more involved than that, like there was a reason for the coal, but it's not. It's like, this is some garbage we found on the floor. We're going to leave that for you. The modern equivalent would be like empty K-cups or like a spent water bottle.
Oh.
Yeah, so like they're just leaving you garbage they found outside on the curb. You know? It's not nice, and it sends a pretty direct message when you think about it that way. In the Netherlands, however, children were traditionally visited by St. Nicholas, Santa Claus's scraggly great-grandfather, whom David Sedaris refers to as, quote, painfully thin and wearing a hat that is not unlike a tea cozy. St. Nicholas is also apparently known by the way more fun title, Nicholas the Wonder Worker.
Oh my.
I know. That's a good one.
Why didn't that one stick?
I don't know, but isn't it better?
I'm going to use that from now on.
Call him Nicholas the Wonder Worker. He is also the Christian patron saint of sailors, merchants, archers, repentant thieves, prostitutes, children, brewers, pawnbrokers, unmarried people, and students. So with a resume like that, he damn well better be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the Wonder Worker.
Nicholas the Wonder Worker. Patron saints of unmarried people, hookers, and children.
Yes. And archers, like elves.
And archers. Oh, shit. Tying it all back in.
It's coming together.
That's probably because you have the elf hat on and you're
It
thinking
is,
of it.
and I know, and he is my saint. My patron saint.
Yeah,
Oh,
indeed. Nicholas started his life out as a Greek bishop. Well, the area he lived in was then Greece. It would now be Turkey. He roamed around bishoping it up and being generally charitable for a while. His penchant for giving gifts started when his parents died, and instead of keeping his inheritance for himself, Nicholas chose to distribute it to the poor. But saints have to perform miracles to get their title, right? So what were his? Well, he did some pretty run-of-the-mill saintly things, such as saving soldiers, calming a storm, and chopping down a tree that had been possessed by a demon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. But his most popular and most retold miracle is the point at which this whole thing starts to get pretty good. As it goes, St. Nicholas existed in a time of terrible famine. I imagine all biblical times to be those of terrible famine, but like, nevertheless, it's important that I say it. In his village, there was a butcher, and this particular butcher was known to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad man. When he happened on hard times and there were no livestock to be found, the butcher simply began to improvise. He lured 3 small children into his house with sweets, only to turn around and kill them all. He then placed the dead children into a barrel with salt to cure them, planning on selling their bodies as ham. I'm not making this up. When St. Nicholas happened to stop by the butcher's shop, St. Nicholas was looking to gather some food to feed the hungry. The butcher told him about his stellar new ham, and St. Nicholas saw right through his lies and proceeded to immediately resurrect the salted children post-haste. Then they went back home, and they were probably never the same again, I guess. Because of this charming tale, St. Nicholas is frequently shown standing next to a barrel, which kind of makes you want to throw out all of your Christmas barrels, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I have a ton.
So many. I always like
So
to sit
many.
around the Christmas barrel
Yeah.
and just like remember times gone by.
Right, and it's frustrating because then where do you put them? They're just always out. Like I never know where to store them.
You have to make them your general barrel now.
Right, and then every year I get more barrels.
I know. We're just gonna have to like put them out on the curb or something. Anyway, St. Nicholas had been through enough during his difficult life, clearly resurrecting ham children and all. So in
I'm so scared.
I know, I didn't even make
That's
it
what
up.
John should have been, was a ham child.
John, real quick, be a ham baby instead.
Yeah, can we, like, let's change this up.
I am a ham baby, let's be honest.
You are most certainly not. But we're all going to use the term ham baby from now on.
You little ham baby.
You're full of beans, you ham baby. Just string them all together. It's working so well. So again, he'd been through enough in his life. So St. Nicholas only has to deal with good children. He is only responsible for the gift-giving side of Christmas. But just because a child is bad doesn't mean they're ignored. No. St. Nicholas just gets to outsource them to his pal, the Krampus. Mm-hmm. The Krampus is just one of a few Christmas demons said to travel with St. Nicholas, but the rest of them are nondescript little hellions who some folklorists believe evolved into elves. And if you want to hear about that, listen to our episode about elves, because I talk about it a lot.
I didn't want to have to do that again.
I know, no, we're good. The Krampus, however, is the main event for bad children. He is a tall and menacing creature covered in thick, shaggy black hair. He stands on two goat legs, which end in cloven hooves. His posterior is topped with a curly, tufted tail. The Krampus has a humanish head, whereas like in size and proportion, but it is a little oversized, and features large, prominent goat horns. While his face has human-like features, it is nearly always shown fixed in an open-mouthed grimace, prominently featuring his billy goat-like beard and long, bright red, protruding, prehensile tongue. Ooh.
Black Phillip.
You got that, John? You got a long, prehensile tongue?
You know, that's the only thing I don't have.
You're gonna have to go like this. La, 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 la.
That was already gross.
Sometimes the Krampus is shown wearing a long, voluminous cloak, which I think is something like what you have for us tonight, right, John? You're the cloaked Krampus.
I am the cloaked Krampus, yes.
Very nice.
It's fabulous, too.
Oh, I saw a picture earlier. It is pretty fabulous. Sometimes the Krampus is wearing what appears to be lederhosen.
Nice.
So you could have gone in that direction, too.
Oh, man.
No? Okay.
Oh.
Next year.
Sometimes he's totally naked.
That would have been very easy. You ham baby. What is a ham?
He's a naked ham baby. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes the Krampus is shown draped in chains and bells, and sometimes he doesn't have them at all. There's a lot of versions of him. But no matter what he has on, the Krampus always carries with him a large sack and a bouquet of flexible birch branches.
He's got a large sack.
He
That Krampus.
He sure does.
My.
Oh no. If the creature I just described sounds perplexing, hang in there, because what he does is a lot worse than what he looks like. And John's already showing us what he looks like, and it's terrifying.
He clearly needs baby's blood.
I'm running low.
I know, guys. Give us some validation so we can bathe John in baby's blood. And hang in there. We're going to choose the winner of our giveaway. Maybe in the middle, maybe at the end. I don't know.
I have all the names in here.
Leslie's so prepared. I love it. So each year on the 5th of December, known in the Netherlands as Krampusnacht, the Krampus journeys to Earth from the bowels of hell in search of the children who have spent their year being naughty. Krampus will stomp through the village, finding these children and doling out punishments based on the severity of their offense. When the Krampus finds a naughty child, he chases them down, grabbing them with his prehensile tongue. Then he will either kick them, beat them with his birch branches, throw them in his sack and keep them for a little while, throw them in his sack and bring them back to hell with them to burn in the fires for all eternity, or just eat them on the spot. Right
I
there.
like if it's just, He comes out of the depths of hell to kick them.
Yeah. Maybe you only did a little bit wrong. Then you just get a little kick.
Damn it, Sally, do your dishes.
There are some versions of this tradition, like now, because the Krampus is still in parades in the Netherlands, where he just like pretends to kick you.
Oh.
So he's like, stop.
Stop.
Yeah.
Is that the one in the Lederhosen?
Maybe it is. Or the naked one.
Yeah.
You don't know. So based on the punishment inflicted, I think you can see why St. Nicholas would want to stay out of this whole thing. I mean, his miracle was saving children from being eaten. So it's hard to believe that he condones that kind of behavior. And you know, maybe he doesn't. While it has been theorized by the church that the Krampus is a character drawn from Christian lore, remember that Christianity often tries to take credit for everything, most people don't believe this to be true. However, if you want to travel that route, the Christians say that the Krampus is a devil from hell and is decked out in chains to symbolize the binding of the devil. He is, therefore, kind of an ambassador of hell, taking naughty children and setting an example for all those who would think of committing foul deeds. You're sure not going to steal that lollipop if you think the devil is going to eat you in the village square.
It sounds very Christian to me.
I know, they found a way to spin it real good. And that version is fine. He travels around with a saint after all. But most folklorists will tell you that the Krampus goes back much further than that, to pagan rituals and the days of Yule. He does carry birch branches, after all, which are a pagan symbol of fertility, and were used in ritual acts of self-flagellation, binding, and mock death. The birch is also a pagan symbol of fertility, which could explain this strange offshoot of Krampus lore, wherein he uses his tongue to attract unchaste women, and then punishes them in a real violent and rapey way for not being virginal enough.
Just like an elf.
I know, fucking Christmas people, what is wrong with you?
Such a nice holiday.
I
and
know,
make
they
it so
gotta ruin
terrible.
it. The Krampus himself also strongly resembles the horned god, who is one of the primary pagan deities, and is often seen decked out in symbols of Yule. Christianity likes to ignore all of that, however, and go right for the god stuff. Some cultures like the Krampus sentiment, but just aren't into the whole monster vibe that he gives off. In Germany, St. Nicholas's punishing thug is known as Belsnickel. Belsnickel is I know, his name is very funny. Belsnickel. Belsnickel is a human servant of St. Nicholas. He's always seen looking disheveled, dressed in rags with a long, scraggly beard. And he wears a mask of a devil with a long tongue and carries a switch in one hand and cake in the other.
Oh.
I know, he's confusing. Belsnickel deals with all children, not just the naughty ones. He assesses each child in the village and either gives them a whack with his switch or a little cake. So, smack or cake. Depending on their disposition, you know. Or both.
What if you were a good child that also had diabetes?
Listen.
What would you get?
Well, you'd be a dead child because they didn't treat diabetes back then.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
Diabetes wasn't treated until alarmingly recently. So, in some versions of the story, Belsnickel is also a woman who scatters her treats on the ground for children to claim, and then when they would swarm on them to pick up the treats, she would beat them on their backs with her switch for being greedy.
Oh gosh, it's so terrible.
Leaving,
it's unfair.
I know it's unfair. She would leave great red stripes on their backs, which is like the most German thing I can think of. So, the lady version of Belsnickel may be related to a rather distant cousin of the Krampus, the Italian Christmas witch La Befana. La Befana is an old hook-nosed hag who dresses in rags and flies through the night on her broomstick. On Christmas Eve, she enters children's homes by flying down their chimney. Befana leaves treats for the good ones and coal from the fireplace for the bad ones. Before she leaves, she sweeps the entire home clean to sweep away the bad things from the past year and leave a fresh start for the year ahead, which is nice, I think.
Very. Mm-hmm.
If the child is to wake up, however, while La Befana is in their home, she will thump them on the head with her broom so that they don't remember seeing her. So I guess she hits them hard enough to be concussed.
Oh no.
I know.
Italian.
That is distinctly Italian. I will hit you with my broom. She obviously prefers to remain unseen. The broom is Befana's greatest symbol, which is a tool that curiously resembles a bound bundle of switches, if you ask me. So if you look in the Krampus's hand, it's often like a little brush-shaped thing. It looks like a broom. All the traditions kind of tie back together. So that's how they are related. Either way, if you don't want to be dragged into hell, beaten with a branch, eaten in the town square, or at the very least wake up to a pile of trash under your tree, try to be on your best behavior.
Oh my.
Just in case.
Yeah, ham babies.
Goddamn ham babies.
Oh my goodness.
Get it together. How many ham babies do we have in here tonight? How you guys doing?
We have 11 currently. But yeah, we're like going around.
Oh.
I think sometimes when they're out of the tab, like we lose them.
Well,
But
anybody
they're
that's not here will not understand why we say ham babies all the time now. So
Yeah, well,
I feel really bad for them. Unless we're gonna be able to leave this up on YouTube.
we are. Yeah,
Oh.
we do every time.
They can go back and watch.
We're good.
All right. So now that we've done the darker side of Christmas for a moment, we're gonna have Leslie journey over to Hanukkah
Okay.
for us. I know that it was kind of hard to find like a spooky Hanukkah story.
Yeah, this one does okay. It is not, it's not Christmas. It's actually Easter, but it's okay because there
Easter
is
is not Jewish at all.
well, no, right. I'm sorry. It's Passover. I was just, I'm sorry.
Stop being such a ham baby, Leslie.
Ooh. Don't recognize their religion. No, just kidding. But my story does involve a Rudolph, so
Oh,
we
okay.
get to tie it in.
We tried to find something
Yes.
spooky in Jewish folklore, and I think Brian recommended
Yes,
this one.
this
to
was
us.
because of Brian. Thank you.
So thank you for that recommendation.
Okay, so in Jado, I'm already starting off terribly. Okay. In Jedi Christian culture.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Did you watch the last Mandalorian?
No, I
yet?
haven't yet. Everyone's talking about it.
I cried
I'm
hard.
gonna cry. If they fucking kill that
It
baby, I'm
was-
gonna light myself
No,
on fire.
it was amazing.
Okay, good.
I cried because I was so happy.
Don't tell me anything else.
I
didn't see
won't.
it.
It's the best thing that they've ever done.
Okay, I'm excited.
Anyway, okay. So the Judeo-Christian religions, the idea of magic does exist. Many times we call them miracles. God said, "Let there be light," and there was. He made Adam out of earth and breathed life into him. He used Adam's ribs to make Eve. So the idea of taking something from earth and giving it life doesn't seem too far out of that realm, right?
No.
Which brings us to a golem.
He also made a baby out of ham.
He also made a baby out of ham, so
I can't tonight.
fantastic.
Continue.
So a golem is made out of clay or mud, just like Adam was, and shaped into a human-looking character, and it's usually pretty large, so like much larger, like larger than even like a large human would be, so almost like a giant. Let's see. The word golem in the Bible also means shapeless mass or unfinished substance, and using the right words will bring it to life. Like I said, Adam is technically a golem for the first 12 hours before he was given a soul.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Some interpret the stories of golems as a reference to a person's spiritual awakening. However, others interpret these stories very literally and believe you can actually make them. So we know how to make the golem out of the mud and clay, but how do we bring it to life?
Oh no, I want one.
You want one there?
Real bad.
They are helpful.
Oh, good.
So, 1, you can walk around the creation 7 times and say the secret name of God.
What's that?
Well, we don't know because it's lost. We
Damn
have
it.
lost the secret name of God.
How could we do that? Why
Only
would we lose that?
only some people know it.
Oh wait, John knows it.
What is it?
A lot of people say that it's Yahweh.
Yahweh is the nickname of the lost secret
Oh,
name.
the secret.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Mhm.
I want to
Too
know.
much.
Well, if you ever have a vision, they'll give you the letters. So we'll get into that in my story. So that's
Visions
one
never
way.
go well for people. When they have them, they just get fucked up like Joan of Arc. It's
Yeah.
not good.
You can also write the letters of. I think it's. You can correct me, John, if you know this, but the letters would be Aleph, Mem, and Tav.
Mm-hmm.
And combining them together create the word Amit, which means truth, or Emet, which means I
Mm-hmm.
think it's Emet.
Which is an otter. With
Yeah.
a jump band.
Cool. Yeah. So if you write those letters on, it means truth, and that like can bring it to life. And then if you remove some of the letters, it creates another word, and that kind of kills the golem as well. If you need to put it like back to sleep for whatever
very
reason.
Magical.
Yeah, well, it's Jewish mystics that do. It's like they're magicians that believe in this stuff. Yeah.
I want to hang out with one of them. They sound great.
Or you can write the secret name of God on a parchment paper and just like stick it on the golem, like in its mouth or arm.
I was gonna say, don't you have to like put it in his mouth?
Yeah, you can like put it in its mouth or like in its arm or
Listen,
something, and then and that like brings it to life. And then if you need to like get rid of it for whatever reason, you just take out that piece of paper. Okay, so
easy kill switch.
In most stories, golems are described as male in appearance and were made to help save the Jewish people, even though some stories have an unfortunate end. And my such story has an unfortunate end.
What's sad?
This is the story of the Golem of Prague.
Ooh, Prague.
Okay. John, do you know this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yay!
so you can correct me. I think there is a couple versions of it, and I have a little bit, and I know there's a lot of like little like subplots to these stories that I think were gained over the years. So if you remember any of them, John, you could bring them up and we can talk about them, because I heard some of them, but I tried to make this a little cohesive.
I don't know any of these, so take me for a ride.
So Rabbi Judah Lowell, who is also known as the Maharal of Prague.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he was an important Talmudic scholar, a Jewish mystic and philosopher, is believed to have lived at the end of the 16th century in Prague, which was then part of the Holy Roman Empire. And at this time, the empire was ruled by King Rudolph II.
The red-nosed reindeer.
That's right. Although Rudolph was an enlightened emperor, the Jews of Prague were subjected to anti-Semitic attacks.
Oh.
I feel like I wrote this wrong. Theudas. I think Theudas is his name. I know, it's right here. I don't know. Thaddeus, thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
I got you.
Thaddeus. I was like, Thaddeus is not right. It sounds like a problem.
Thaddeus.
Going to see my Thaddeus tomorrow.
My Thaddeus gland is acting up.
Okay. So anyway, Thaddeus.
Yep, Thaddeus.
Thaddeus was the Christian priest of the time. He was like, they also say that he like dabbled in like dark magic and stuff, the dark arts. So he's like the evil guy in this story.
There's witchcraft and wizardry.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they did live in a castle. So.
Oh, then obviously.
Yes, Rudolph was in the castle and Thaddeus was like around there a lot, lurking in the shadows. So he's an anti-Semitic Jew. And
what?
Right?
How does that work? He's anti-Semitic?
No, sorry, he's an anti-Semitic priest, is what I mean to say. Right? He's like against them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. And he helped spread the rumor of the blood libel, which is where the Jews would steal Christian babies and use their blood in making matzah.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah. So, the Maharal asked Rudolph, because they were like hanging out one day, they're like friends and they're in the castle, and he was just like, listen, dude, I know that like there's like shit's happening out there, my people are being said that like we're drinking baby's blood, can we like end this like racism, you know, like come on.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we like baby's blood, but that's different. Like, we're cool, can you get like everyone else on the same page? Yeah. And Rudolph was just like, I'm sorry, like I can't really do too much about that. And he was like, fuck. So, the Maharal went back home to what they call the Jewish ghetto. And he was just like, nobody's going to help me, I don't know what to do. And that night, he had a vision. Oh, it's not going to go well for him.
He went to sleep and had a wonderful vision. And in this vision, he was given the code to creating the golem. The code being the right letters that would spell God's name. Yes. Right? And he was told that the golem would... I keep saying golem, so sorry, guys.
We had a whole chat about this.
The golem would protest...
You're so in Lord of the Rings from the elf episode.
I know. Fine. I'm sorry. I hope all this story ends up making sense. But
great. Keep going.
So, in the dream, this vision said that the golem would help protect the Jewish ghetto from all the anti-Semitics. And so the next day, that's what he decided to do. He decided, we're going to make a golem. So he got some helpers, some young men in the village, and he was like, let's do this shit.
It's like a good choice.
Yeah, and he's like, I got the letters, we're doing it. So,
I'm here for it.
this golem came to life. There was him and I think maybe like 2 others, and they did like the dance around this guy like 7 times while they like said the name. So it's like 7 times they all had to like dance around, and they did that 3 times. So like 7 and 3, those are like big religious numbers, right?
So many times. That was a lot of dancing.
Yeah. So the golem came to life, and he possessed incredible strength. It also helped out. They say in some stories, it says that like it didn't only like help protect them, but it did chores around the village for them.
Oh my god! Like took out the trash and swept.
It did, yeah. It absolutely did.
I do want one.
Yeah, cleaned up the synagogue. Additionally, the golem was given a special necklace made out of deer skin and decorated with mystic signs. So remember, there's like those Jewish mystics, and they have like some powers, like some like magical things. So it was able to keep the golem invisible. So like the bad Christians couldn't see them.
So it had an invisibility cloak.
Yep, it did.
Got it.
Yes. Another version of the story states that the Jewish hating priests tried to incite the Christians of Prague against the Jews near Easter, or during his like their Passover time.
Not Easter.
Well, but their Easter.
It's
the Jews' Passover.
Easter.
Well, but their Easter is what I'm saying. The Christians' Easter.
Okay, there we go.
As a result, the Maharal created the golem to protect his people during their Passover season.
Smart.
Yeah. The golem succeeded in protecting the Jews. Huzzah! Is what I wrote.
Okay.
But I promised an unfortunate ending, and the golem grew stronger and stronger and soon became increasingly destructive.
Ooh.
So I think at times they would, like once a week, they'd like put it to sleep. Which by doing that, they'd have to like erase those like words.
Shut
so
it
it's
down.
almost, they just shut it down, put it to sleep, and then bring it back to life, and then it would be okay. But at this time, it was awake for too long, and it got stronger and more destructive, and instead of doing good deeds, the golem began to run amok and threaten innocent lives. So the Maharal decided, like, sorry, dude, but we gotta get rid of you.
Yeah, makes sense.
So he turned it back into like a lifeless statue, and they brought it up to like the attic of the synagogue. And this was like a big thing for people, like for centuries. They'd like lock the door and nobody could get in, so they still believed that it was there.
Oh, interesting.
Unfortunately, though, when the synagogue was finally explored hundreds of years later, they found no trace of like anything in there of it. But who knows why? Maybe it it was still mud, so if it wasn't being utilized, maybe it like went away. I don't know.
Maybe it
I don't know
rained.
what happened. Possibly, yeah.
Got a leak.
Yeah,
Melted it.
so that is the story of the golem. Golem.
I love.
What? John.
He said he loved that
Oh.
story.
Oh, yay!
I said I love that story.
You look wild. And it's almost time for you to tell us about Yule. How are you coming along over there?
Very good. I could talk about Yule if you'd like me to.
I would love that too. So, as you heard me mention in the story of the Krampus, one of the oldest and most influential winter holidays, one that many other holidays have taken their cue from, is the pagan celebration of Yule. And as luck would have it, we have our very own practicing pagan in the house tonight.
Yay.
Hi, John.
So I do have a little notepad because I don't remember everything, even though I do this every year.
We both have laptops in front of us where we are reading these stories from.
Right.
So...
But I feel like people who like, they're like, oh, you're a witch, you must know everything. And I'm like, this is everything.
My yellow notepad.
The floppy notepad. This is witchcraft. No, it's kidding.
That's okay.
So basically, Yule, before we even get into Yule, a lot of people think that Yule is the only thing that Christianity took and turned it into Christmas. But there's actually a holiday kind of before that. Right. Well, there's a holiday before Yule, actually, that also influenced Christmas. And that's Saturnalia.
Ooh.
And that is worshipping the deity of of Saturn in Roman traditions. So Saturnalia would be this big like Bacchus celebration where, and it's actually like really cool. It's very interesting.
Bacchus, the god of wine, women, and song.
Bacchus is the guest. Saturn is he is a little bit of other things, but they would have this big celebration in Rome, and or all throughout Italy, pretty much. And they would, at the very top of the day, they would take somebody and they would sacrifice them. So super fun.
That's
And
a
that was
party.
to right. It's already a party, and they would basically do that to appease Saturn. And then they would line the streets and all of these candles in honor of Saturn. And then they would go ahead and feast, and they would have this huge feast. But a really interesting part about this is that during, and this was like way pre-Christianity, they would have the roles would kind of get evened out as far as people go. So the slaves and the people who, like the rulers and like the higher up people, they would become equal that day to
Oh.
appease Saturn, because Saturn didn't like slavery. And I'm here for Saturn. We love Saturn. Um, but they would be equal, and they would dress the slaves in the same clothing that the people would wear, like the higher ups would wear, and they would essentially be allowed to roast their owners. So they would be like, "This is what we hate about you," and they would, but it was like in jest, but they would get to like talk back to them, and I just thought that was really great. But a
Love
lot of the
that.
candles and a lot of the feasting and stuff like that, that was also taken from Saturnalia. But moving forward, you go to Yule, and Yule is basically a Germanic pagan holiday. It started in that region. It's 11 days long, so
Woo.
it starts. Yeah, so basically 12 days. It ends on the. I think it begins on the solstice and ends 11 days after.
So is it the 12 days of Christmas?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
Is that why there's so many birds? Are we gonna find out why?
Oh Jesus.
Yes. 100 partridges and pear trees. No, I'm just kidding.
Partridges are so funny looking. My kids just discovered what they look like. It was great.
You know what's funny? I'm 26 years old. I don't know what a partridge looks like.
It looks like a big fat quail.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
What
That's
does a
great.
quail look like?
It has this thing going on here, and then it's pear shaped. In the
Oh, I
pear
love
tree, like a big dumpling. It's very nice.
A big dumpling. Me too. So Yule is centered around midwinter, which is also the solstice, and it's celebrated with feasting and drinking, and there's also a little bit of sacrifice to the gods as well.
Okay.
And you're also sacrificing things to the ancestors. A lot of times, the farmers would all gather to make the sacrifice, and they weren't always human sacrifices. It would be sacrificing something that you need to live. So something that is like really giving homage to the gods and like thanking them for things. So a lot of time it would be farmers would bring their farm animals, like something that was like a prized animal, and they would sacrifice the animal, but they wouldn't waste any of it. So the blood, which I believe is BOL, is what they would call it, bull in Scandinavia and stuff like that in Germany. They would sacrifice that as like the holy liquid that keeps things alive, and they would sacrifice that, and then they would sacrifice the bones and the skin of the animal to the gods, but they would take all the meat and they would boil the meat and they would serve that for their festival later to everybody. So they were feeding the whole village and they were feeding towns, but they were also sacrificing it to the gods in like a sacrificial way so that the gods were appeased. Also, they were thanking their ancestors for guidance. This was huge in pre-Christian times, and you can clearly tell it was huge in pre-Christian times because we're still celebrating a lot of the same things to this day, and a lot of people don't even know it. So you have traditions like the Yule log, which was traditionally burned in like somewhere in the house to warm the home, but they would only burn sections of it every day for 12 days, and each one of those sections after it was burned, they would put it underneath your bed, and that would protect you. It was for protection, and it was protection in those days from like lightning or natural disasters or things hitting your house. So it was protection for the home.
Okay.
And then you also have the Yule boar or the Yule goat, and a lot of people for Christmas serve lamb or ham. So ham babies. We're just full
Krampus
circle.
and the ham babies.
Yes. So the Yule ham the Yule boar is now ham, and it was just something that they sacrificed, and then they would eat the meat for that. So we're still doing that today. A lot of people, you go to the grocery store, you see piles of ham for Christmas.
Piles of Christmas ham. It's
Piles of
everywhere.
have Yule singing, and that's carols this day. So you still have people who, in like old-timey tradition, will go around and they'll carol.
Oh, I talk about
And
wassailing later.
Yeah, exactly. Wassailing. It's the same thing. So it's a really cool thing that like so many of those integral parts of Yule are still celebrated today, and people don't even realize they're celebrating it. And so many of those pagan traditions are still used to this day, and people don't know. Like a lot, this is my favorite fun fact is like when you put candles in your birthday cake and you wish and you blow that out. Not only is that witchcraft, but you're also that was started when they were taking cakes to the temples of Artemis in Greece, and she was the goddess of the moon, and she wouldn't be able to see your cake otherwise, so you had to put candles in it so you could see the cake.
Is that why
So,
you make cakes?
Yeah, exactly. That is why.
Okay.
And, they would blow out those candles after they put it on the altar to make a wish to Artemis to see if she would grant it.
That's amazing.
So
I
we
love
still do
that.
today, and nobody realizes
That's
it.
great.
So do you think we'd have a better chance of our wishes coming true if we realized that we were supposed to be doing it to Artemis?
I think so.
Now we know.
I do.
Now we know.
Knowing is half the battle.
In present day, we observe a lot of the same traditions that they did then. But so we still have gatherings and feasts and drinks and gifts and all of that fun stuff. But they are accompanied by rituals for the solstice. And a lot of times in those rituals, depending on what your path is, because there's lots of different pagan paths, you will be honoring Cernunnos, and that is the horn god. So you already talked about the horn god earlier.
Who looks like Krampus.
Right, he looks like Krampus. He also looks like, it's escaping me. Baphomet. All that fun stuff.
Well, I love the Baphomet statue in Salem.
I've seen pictures and I want to go there so bad.
We couldn't go there because of COVID last time, and I was really mad.
Ooh, that stinks. But Cernunnos, who is viewed as like the newborn sun, and like I mean the literal sun, like up above, not the sun.
Okay.
And he's basically symbolizing that the dark months are ending during the solstice, which is factually true.
Yeah.
And you're gaining hours in the day, and the days are becoming longer, and the sun is out more. So it's a lot about rebirth as well, and a lot of pagan holidays are about rebirth and starting new life coming in and new things coming into your life. So that's a little bit about Yule. I celebrate every year. I make lots of food, and I always make bread for my holidays. And I will go outside, and I also make sacrifices, but I give them my pastries and my bread.
Do you sacrifice a person?
Sometimes I wish I could sacrifice my neighbor, but you know what? I can't. So,
Oh no!
So for now, it's just the ham babies.
Now it's just ham. Yeah.
Sacrifice a ham baby.
So that is Yule.
I love it. Are there any Yule friends you want to talk about?
Can I talk about Grilla and okay, perfect.
Talk about the lads, and then Leslie will come in and tag you out so you can keep making it up.
Tag team this shit.
Cherry.
So a lot of people now would know this story from Sabrina, the new Sabrina series.
If you want to, or I can.
The new Sabrina series had an episode. I think there was 1 or 2 episodes for Christmas.
Yep.
And it was about Grilla, who they portrayed as a witch, and her 13 children who were invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And they came in and they wreaked havoc in the house and blah, 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 blah. And for the most part, that's pretty accurate as to what happens. But they didn't quite explain it the same. So Grilla is a giant. She's a giantess. She's a Norse goddess a giantess who takes parents disobedient children, and she brings them to a mountain cave and then devours them.
So it all relates back. Krampus eats children too.
Exactly, yes.
It sounds like that guy that like plays the flute with the children.
Oh, the Pied Piper?
The Pied Piper, yeah.
I love the Pied Piper.
I love that story too.
Good story.
Wait, real quick side note, when I was in, I think, 2nd or 3rd grade, we learned how to, like, in art class, we learned how to make books, right? Like, out of, like, I don't know, like, cool, like, little paper things. And then we had to write a story in them for our English class. and then our parents were gonna come in the day to like listen to our fairy tale story that we made up. So that day, the few days prior, like I couldn't come. I just was always stressing out and writing like 1,000 different stories and couldn't come up with one. And I had been watching Nick Jr. and they did an episode of the Pied Piper, and I ended up writing that story because I thought it was so good.
You didn't write that story, Leslie.
I did, and I was like, this is such a good, it's terrifying, and this is a great story. So I wrote it as if it was mine, and no one said anything to me. Like, I left that class, they were just like, that was amazing. That was the scariest story I ever heard.
Oh,
and
no.
I was like,
Thank you.
That's amazing.
yeah, terrible. I never did it. I was like, I got away with murder, and I like
Yeah.
never did that again.
If you are interested in the Pied Piper, there's a really good episode of lore devoted to him where they tell you all of the facts and stuff. It's super interesting. So
I
Nice.
that.
I think mine was from David the Gnome.
love David the Gnome.
He also does a great version.
It does.
Oh my god.
He had
That's
this
awesome.
little fox. What was his fox's name? Swift.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I love
those
that
stories.
show. So, John, we interrupted you. We
Sorry.
No, it's
were
fine.
talking about cocktails. We were talking about David the Gnome. It got,
Honestly, great. It's perfect.
Bring us back.
Okay, so we were talking about the 13 or the Yule lads.
Mm.
So Grilla sends her 13 sons, one by one, starting 13 days before Christmas, and they go down the mountain, and they prank the population by harassing them, and each of them is like harassing them and pranking them and doing really strange
Ooh.
things. And each of them is named for their preferred form of mischief,
Ooh.
which I love.
Tell me them.
And I so happen to have the names in Scandinavian and in English.
Do you have to do Scandinavian pronunciations? We have battled them before.
Oof.
I got them, but I honestly
Go
don't
for it.
know. Okay, so our first son, he arrives December 12th, and then he leaves December
Oh, it
25th.
takes a while.
Yeah, they stay for, each of them stay 13
Oh.
days.
They hang out. Why not?
So you're literally never rid of them until halfway through the new year, or a couple days into the new year. So at first you have Stekjarstar, and he is sheep coal clawed. That is what his name is in English, and he awkwardly harasses sheep.
Awkwardly.
The only weird thing is it gets better.
Sheep.
Shit.
Yes, sheep.
It does get better though, because he has a lot of trouble doing this, and the reason why is because he has 2 peg legs.
I was hoping he was invisible to sheep.
Nope, he has to travel down the mountain with 2 peg legs, and then harass sheep with 2 peg legs, because that's his
You
favorite
can poke
activity.
a sheep real good with a peg leg.
It's true, but if you lift up one leg, sometimes
Oh
you fall
no,
over.
that's true.
So
Just sit down and like boom, 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 boom.
right,
Look at a sheep harassment.
I love that.
I guess so.
The next son arrives on the 13th, and he leaves the 26th, and his name is Giljagar,
Mm.
or Gullygawk in English, and he's actually kind of like, it's pretty funny. I relate to him a little bit. He hides in the gillies, which are these little like almost like creeks or in between land, and he waits for the opportunity to sneak into the cow shed and just sneak milk. So he'll just steal milk.
We love a cow shed.
So this is what you do?
Like, honestly,
Get in that
almost.
cow
Like, you
shed.
think about, I wait until everybody's asleep and I go into the refrigerator and I eat shredded cheese with my hands,
Oh.
you know? So, like, same thing.
I like how
Done
you
that
were
before.
able to make that insane thing relatable.
I
It's
get
quite
it.
relatable. I feel like it's.
Yeah, now we get it.
The third son is Stufur,
Ooh.
or Stubby.
Stubby.
Literally Stubby. Yes. The only real description about him is he's very short, and he eats the leftover crumbs and crust from people's bread, which is also relatable. That's like that's left over on their
Don't be
plates.
in people's crust and crumbs.
Not now.
That's like when you like leftover pizza crust. Sometimes you're like,
Right.
that's the good part.
Not
That
the
is the
crumbs.
good
You're not
part.
like.
It's like,
I'm just.
and he arrives on the 14th and he leaves on the 27th. This is one of the more interesting names. Proruskiller, and he is a spoon licker.
Spoon.
He steals wooden spoons and he eats what's on them. And he is also, the reason why he does this is because he's extremely thin due to malnourishment.
So he just licks what's
So-
left on the spoon?
That's all he can
I
eat.
hate it.
I think that's really rude of his mother, his giantess mother, to not
She's
feed
giant.
him.
She
How
ate all
rude.
the things. And he got just the spoon.
I guess so. So he arrives on the 15th and he leaves on the 28th. And then his next brother, Potaskefil, he is the pot he is the pot scraper.
Why are they
he
all leftover
literally
He
just-
takers?
cleans the dishes.
I don't know. And he just steals what's on the bottom of the pot, like that's left on the oven or the stove or whatever, and he eats that, and then he just runs away. So he goes and devours your leftovers, and I think that's
It's just
rude.
like a whole house of boys. Like they're just like going out or whatever
Scraping,
food they can
spoon
get.
licking, crumb
I live
stealing.
with 2 boys, and it's hard enough to keep food in the house. Like
I live with 3 boys.
I
counting
watch
John.
them. Yeah, 3 boys, and I watch them scrape food from the pan.
Yeah. Sometimes Will does that.
Leftover mac and cheese. Someone didn't want the last few bites.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yes. That I feel that like spiritually.
Feel that.
And then our next brother, Askaliker, and that's a really funny one. And it means bowl liquor.
They lick something.
Bowl or bowl?
Bowl.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
the bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, like a bowl. So an asakur is a type of bowl that has it's a almost like a container. It's a bowl with a lid.
Okay.
And
Tupperware.
they
Tupperware, if you will.
yeah, like Tupperware, ancient Tupperware.
Ancient Tupperware.
And-
Even better.
Would basically go into bed with this and eat it in bed, and then they would take the bowl and they'd put it on the floor so they could go to
I
sleep.
think my kids are all
And,
13 of these.
They're lads. They're the Yule
They
lads.
are the Yule lads.
And he would hide underneath the bed until they put the bowl down, and they would steal the bowl and what's inside it.
That's so funny.
Oh no.
He arrives the 17th and he leaves on the 30th.
Hmm.
And the next one is really rude. It's Herdaskiller,
What does he like?
and it means door slammer.
Oh.
So in the middle of the night, he walks around your house and just slams doors.
Leslie.
What did I
I
do?
said, hold on.
No! Not all
Doors go.
Mm,
I mean, that's what he did.
Who the hold on?
We need new drinks.
Hold the door.
Excuse
It's
me.
terrible.
I'm
I
gonna be a
got this.
bartender. Leslie, take over.
What number are we on now, Dad?
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was the
Okay,
6th one.
So far, again,
so
all
many.
of my children.
I love. He arrives. Oh, I lost you guys. You see me? Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, there you are. Okay. So the next one is Skirgamor, and it means skier gobbler. And I don't know if you know what skier is, but it's like yogurt.
Skier is yogurt. Okay.
Yogurt.
IR. And he has a real affinity for skier, and he goes around to people's houses and just eats and steals all of their
That's
yogurt.
amazing.
He arrives on the 19th and he leaves on the 1st, and I don't even know how to pronounce this next one.
Sing it.
So sing it.
It's a Luvitar.
You gonna cracker.
Do it again. Do it again.
You gonna
Ooh,
cracker.
that's beautiful.
And he is the sausage swiper.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes, he swipes their sausage. He hides in the rafters, and he waits until people leave the kitchen or go to bed, and he steals all of the sausage in the house.
Ew.
Yeah, he arrives on the 20th and leaves on the 2nd. And then Glugagager, which is my favorite.
Galugagager.
He's the window peeper.
Ew, a window peeper. Oh, man.
I don't like that.
He just likes to scare people and stare at people through the window.
You are trying to make that sound like it's okay somehow.
I know. I'm trying to make it.
He was
more
like,
like
don't
less
worry. He
bad.
just likes to stare through the window and
He
just
just,
like peep at them.
boom.
Yeah,
That sounds awful.
that's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like that even a little.
Just want to scare them a little.
I don't like it.
Just a little.
Get out of here.
And he arrives on the 21st, and he leaves the 3rd.
So,
And then
terrible.
you have Gatubiefer,
Ooh.
or the doorway sniffer, and this one doesn't really make sense to me.
Ew. This is hateful.
Don't understand why they call him this. Because he sniffs for bread in the doorway.
He's sniffing for bread in the doorway.
So,
Hate him.
like little fried breads that have snowflakes on them for
Yeah.
Christmas. He like waits and he sniffs around and he like tries to smell for them. And then he waits until he can grab one and he steals one.
Oh, I gave you a big one.
Well, that one I mean, you said that one didn't make sense to you.
Yeah, because why is he still like? Why are you sniffing the doorway?
Well, he's probably is he sniffing outside of the door? You think, like outside of somebody's home?
I
yeah,
guess
that's
so.
what I'm thinking. He's probably sniffing out
It's
there
very-
outside their home while their brother's peeping through the window. The other one's stealing the yogurt. Does he
Right.
like it with granola at least? Like, should I leave some granola out?
I would assume that he loves a little bit of
Do
granola.
you think he likes it with the fruit or without the fruit?
Probably
Yeah,
no
that's
fruit.
why my son likes it too. Granola, no fruit.
So
Yeah.
this is your son. Which son
This
is
is this one's Dylan.
Oh, Dylan.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Sorry, Leslie. Apparently I'm
he
trying to
has,
get
like-
you drunk.
That's okay. It's all right,
He
guys.
also has like
Visit me at Short
Bobby-
Soaps tomorrow. It's gonna be a good time.
You don't have to finish that. That's a giant glass of bourbon. What are you drinking?
I'm
Oh.
not. It's just my water, my brush.
Oh.
But I have it in a fancy cup
That's your
just in case.
brusharita.
It... oh no. So not to be fair, he arrives on the 22nd and he leaves on the 4th. And then Kantakruker comes in and it means meat hook, and he just steals the meat with a hook, and then he like gets out of there.
I think I would
Like-
be
like-
Meat Hook the dwarf or whatever.
Does he
this
do it
shit
like
is.
a fishing?
I
Meat
think
hook is
that
like,
that's how it has to be. And then
Yeah.
you know, something like
Okay.
that. He arrives on the 23rd and leaves on the 5th, and then the final brother is Kertasneaker, and it means candle stealer. And he follows
That's
children in order to steal their
Why
candles.
do they have children have candles? That's dangerous.
So weirdly, back in like when this myth was created, candles were edible because they were made out of this like beef fat.
Yeah,
I
uh-huh.
think.
Right? That's like a...
Yeah.
Tallow,
Got
yes.
you.
And yes.
I know some weird shit. I don't know what to tell you.
So basically, it was like a real nuisance if somebody lost that because they could use it. So Kate the Sneaker would go around and grab everybody's candles and then peace out.
Bye.
And those are all the brothers. And then their mother would call them home one by one, and they would run back up the mountain, and then the town would be free by the 5th of all these crazy brothers doing crazy things.
They're like feral children.
Yeah, wait, which one goes home on my birthday? My birthday's the 27th. Who's my Yule
Is that
lad?
the yogurt one?
No! I don't
The
want yogurt lad.
no, it's Stubby.
Stubby!
He's very short, and
Aw,
he eats all the leftovers.
Aw.
So on my
Well, at
birthday-
least that's good. He like cleans out your fridge.
I'd like you all on my birthday to eat all the leftovers.
I'll be over.
Come on over.
I'll be your little stubby.
Eat the Christmas leftovers.
I'm
I'll
obsessed
make
with
you
that.
a gallon of cocktail. It won't be good. I'm the worst. Or best. Depends.
Just pour some water in that.
There you go.
Oh my
Listen, I was trying to listen to you and also pour bourbon, and I just kept going.
It's okay. It's okay.
Again, don't feel like you have to finish it. We can't have Leslie dying.
Finish what I started.
Oh no! So, thank you, John. That was really fun. And we'll watch your face continue to terrifyingly change as we continue on. So, John mentioned the Yule lads, but we're not quite done with Yule just yet. Leslie has another Yule tale for us. Would you like to tell us about the Yule cat?
I sure do, Holly. I sure do.
I'm very excited to hear. Do we have any cat people in the house right now? Because you're going to get very excited.
Yeah. Okay. So, start my story off, I guess I'll ask, what is maybe your least, I wouldn't say like least favorite, just like your least like, present that you probably get every year? Like, even when you were little, like, you know, you'd get all your toys, but then you might be like, oh, I know this is going to be in my stocking, and like, I have to look excited, or like my
I don't know.
grandparents gave me this, and I have to be
I'm not going to
excited.
say socks because Will wants them every year.
Okay, well, it is socks.
I knew it!
It is socks, or like PJs sometimes, like people get
pajamas.
PJs. So I love that stuff now, but when I was little, I remember being like, obviously I still got like a ton of gifts, but when you'd open up like the PJ one, you were like, this isn't the bike that I asked for.
It's like that
like,
scene in Christmas Story where they're like, clothes! And they throw it over
exactly,
their
yeah. So that usually was like our least favorite thing to get. And I always went to Catholic school, so I would always get silly socks for, like, my Aunt Roberta would give me really fun socks for Easter. I would get
Did
them
she give Adam matching ones?
Oh, probably, yes.
Aunt Roberta and Uncle Carl always matched. They wore matching
did.
outfits.
Yeah.
They came to my wedding rehearsals and my wedding in
That's
like,
the only way they left the
matching
house.
outfits.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
the only
impressive.
way they left the house.
Oh, man.
John and I aspire to be them.
I mean, that's a good aspiration.
Yeah. So I always went to Catholic school. So for me, getting like fun socks was not really fun because I could never wear them.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the day that I would have dress down day, I had to pay $1 for dress down day.
What?
So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I was probably
like
just gonna wear like the Abercrombie outfit. I like begged my mom to buy me, and not the silly socks. Like I have one time like a month to dress up. I'm not gonna wear like cat face socks.
All right.
I would now. I would now, but then I only had one day.
All right.
Anyway, so, but thank goodness my family gave me socks and PJs for Christmas every year, because otherwise I would have been eaten by a ginormous cat.
No!
Whew. So, the Yule cat, or the Jólakaturin, as it's pronounced in Iceland, is a huge cat beast.
Cat beast!
Yes.
I love that phrase.
The story likely dates back to the Dark Ages, but the first written account is from the 19th century, and many people believe it's the house cat of the giant gorilla, which is the mom we just heard about, and her son's the Yule lad. So
she has like yogurt guy, bowl licker, door sniffer, and giant cat.
And this giant cat that
her
they all
life
hung
is
out with.
Strange.
Super strange.
Okay.
So if people in Iceland did not receive new clothes on Christmas Eve, then the Yule cat would appear and eat them. Very sad. It seemed to be an incentive for the farmers to tell their staff and themselves, obviously, in order, like they wanted them to basically finish pulling all like the autumn wool out so that they could make the clothes in time for the holiday, so that people in town could buy the clothes so that no one got eaten by cats. The harder you worked,
don't get eaten by cats.
Yeah, the harder you worked, the more you put out, and the less likely you were going to get eaten, right?
Because you would make on Christmas Eve is tough. You have to have new clothes, and you have to leave for the Yule, so the Yule cat doesn't eat you, and you have to leave food out for the older folks so that they don't fuck your shit up either.
Exactly. It may be like a bowl of yogurt, just in case.
For door liquor guy, yeah.
Yeah.
God, this is a time.
And if they worked hard, then they would also receive clothes from the farmer and would be safe from the beast. So that was like a big thing too.
Oh.
So if they were hard workers, everybody would, it was like an incentive to work hard, because like your gift would be clothes and you wouldn't get eaten.
And then you get to live.
Those who were lazy received nothing and would die. And become cat food.
This is rough.
Yeah. Parents would also use, so this was like for adults as well. Like everybody believed this. And parents would also then use this obviously with their children, and it would be a way to help to get their children to behave and maybe like finish their chores like around Christmas time. And they were just like, if you don't behave, like I'm not, like I have like you know, these new PJs wrapped up for you, but I'm gonna give them to Susie.
And I'll let you die
Yeah,
in the belly of a cat beast.
yeah, because I clearly don't love you.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Unless
children.
you do my dishes.
Sorry.
Sometimes I feel that way. But, yeah, so that would be, you know, do your dishes, you'd get clothes on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
And basically, their in Iceland, their main thing was like the more you put out, like what you put out is. Sorry, I think I wrote that weird. You put out. Okay, you put out what you put in, and the laziness has it, and that laziness has its consequences.
Uh-oh.
And so that was like a big theme, and they used it with the Yule Cat for however long. But
Okay.
yeah, but I just thought it was adorable that it was the pet of the Yule House.
Yogurt bowl, loveless
Yeah,
cat,
it was like they'd come
know.
home from like those 13, 12 days, whatever, and like they'd be like, "Do you guys feed the cat?"
Come here, Yule cat.
Yeah.
How'd everybody do this year? Got new clothes? No?
No.
You look full.
You look so full.
Yeah. You gained some weight, Yule cat. That must be some sad people.
Yeah, that's the Yule Cat.
I love the Yule cat.
Me too.
Okay. So thank you for
Oh,
that.
John's here. Hey, behind the beautiful.
Hi,
Hmm.
John. Both Johns.
Oh, did our music play?
I don't think it did because our internet
Yeah,
died.
you said yes, right? In the
Oh,
beginning?
it did.
Awesome.
Oh, yay. So John's Spooky Christmas Carols played.
Yeah, we're gonna have an album out soon, guys. A Christmas album.
Oh, I'm so excited. John's Haunted Carols are
That's
the most fun and
Mhm.
wonderful, and our hopefully we'll have some more featured in our next episode, which is
Yeah.
a bunch of spooky Christmas ghost stories.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
If you guys are watching our live, and if you watch us on YouTube, little extra info. Our final Christmas episode is some Christmas ghost stories. So we're really excited about that. I have a whole book of Victorian Christmas ghost stories we're gonna pick from, and I'm gonna write one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
exciting. Okay.
Yeah, so we won't have an opening. We'll
Our
have
Hallmark Christmas movie.
no, that's different.
Okay. I'm excited for
No,
that.
we're gonna have like a full-on 20-minute real ass story that I'm gonna write for you guys.
Cool.
So, before I do the last story, why don't we do our drawing?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Somebody gets to win something.
And just so you know, too, I thought I would start doing this as well. Our Best Fiends Forever patrons, there are $10 patrons. I just threw a name in there because they do a lot and give a lot.
They do. We love
on
you.
our Patreon account as
Thank
well.
you.
So I gave a few of them. A few of you guys did the contest, like the giveaway. So this was just an extra name for you, and then some people just got like one vote in there. Okay. Do you want to pick?
Oh, I do.
Don't pick the big ball that's in there. That was just there to.
I want it. Guys, this is a lot of pressure. There's a lot in here.
There is, yeah. We did good.
Who do we get?
Sarah Nielsen McDevitt.
Sarah Nielsen
Sarah!
McDevitt.
Woo!
Sarah. She really wanted it too. So
She did really want it, and she's been. That's great. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that's
She's been a
great,
really
Sarah.
good commenter and stuff. Okay, so Sarah, hit me up and send me your address, and I'll send you this shit.
We'll announce it in our socials tomorrow.
Wait, can you see? Hold on. There we go.
It's over there.
Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. I wonder if that's how they came up with that song.
Yeah, it is. They were doing a drawing and they got excited, held it up to a camera and went, whoop, there it is.
Whoop.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Keep drinking that bourbon.
John, are you still watching? Pick me up.
Hey, John, do you want us to call an Uber? It's fine. This is what I said earlier today. I was like, hey, Leslie, maybe we don't have you drive.
I know, I have an Uber and it's called John. So.
All right, so we have one more story for you this evening, and it comes right back to me. Our final tale of the evening takes us to Wales, where the locals engage in a yearly alcohol-fueled sing-off with festively adorned floating horse skull puppets. Yes, which have been crafted by Welsh families for generations. Did I make one? Of fucking course I did. Where is my friend? There she is.
It's so pretty.
Oh,
My
yeah.
goodness. Little girl. Hi.
I love her so much. Listen, this was 20 minutes with a glue gun I will never regret, because this is going to be in my house every year for Christmas forever.
That's amazing.
Oh, I love her so much. We'll
that
make
was the
videos
best
soon,
thing
too.
we ever bought for.
Truly it was. The replica horse skull is
Was this on
lovely.
Patreon money?
I think I might have just bought it with my own money.
Well.
It's going to live in my house. But patrons in the future, that's Banks? Yeah, Banks is climbing my screen. I have a black cat. His name is Banks. He's climbing up the screen right next to me. So yeah, this is a Mari Lloyd. Trying to say that with my best Welsh accent. And that is what I'm talking about. And Mari Lloyd is hands down the most awesome Christmas tradition I have come across in all of my research, in all of my years. It is glorious. And I would love to start celebrating it myself as soon as possible, so please everybody get on board. I guess before you sign up, I should tell you what it's all about. The Mari Lloyd is not actually a day, it's a puppet. Hi, friends. And traditionally, it's a real horse skull, articulated so that the upper and lower jaws can move freely so it can sing. Yes, sing. The Mari has like globe-shaped ornaments or like pieces of globe-shaped glass or other like little baubles put in its eye sockets for eyes. So there you go, I got them going on. And a long white drape or sheet, here we go, with ribbons and other like tinsel things for a mane. So I did all the stuff that I'm supposed to do. And the skull is supposed to be connected to a pole, and then the drape would go around, like you would hold the pole in your hand, and then the drape would go around the person wearing its head and neck so that you look like you're the horse. All right. So mine isn't a functional puppet because I couldn't afford to get a real horse skull in time. I am sorry, friends. They are pricey and they take time to get. This one is a replica, a really good replica actually. Yeah. But the mandible is not detached, so I can't make it talk. And it's much smaller than the real thing. She's pretty though, and I love her.
Mm-hmm.
She is so pretty.
Fits in your home.
She fits in my home super well. So once you have constructed your giant, I can't even talk anymore, glittery horse ghost puppet, what do we do with it? Well, I think it would be best described as Christmas trick-or-treating for booze. And if that doesn't sound like the only way you ever want to celebrate Christmas forever from now on, I don't think we can be friends. So the tradition goes like this. On Christmas Eve, or whichever day between Christmas Eve and the New Year you decide upon, it usually varies from village to village, you assemble a group of revelers and your Mari Lloyd. The group goes into the village and travels from house to house. When you arrive at a residence that you've chosen, a representative from your group will knock on the door. The house's occupants will then answer, and you will ask them to let you in. You and your Mari Lloyd in their home for a drink and a chat. So you'll knock on the door and be like, let us in for a cocktail. And then traditionally, the people in the house will say no, which seems rude, but just like go on this journey with me. Then you persist and you say, let us drink. And they will say again, no. And then all this time, the operator of your Mari Lloyd will be kind of like going through the crowd and using the little jaw to nip at people. It's very playful and cute though. And it also will like come over and nuzzle you.
Oh my.
So yeah, no, it's cute and it's supposed to be like a cute little pet. You're supposed to like it.
Oh my.
I know, it should be like rubbing its terrifying skull face up against your cheeks like a ghastly overexcited cat dog. After you go back and forth a couple times with the people in the house, your group will present them a challenge. Your merry band of carolers and the occupants of the house will go back and forth singing carols until someone can no longer continue. So what you say is like, we're going to sing songs, and when we finish ours, you have to sing one until someone can't think of one or gets too tired.
Right, it's like a pitch perfect battle.
Total sing-off, exactly. And whoever gives up first gets their way. Spoiler alert, it's always the people in the house, and the Mari Lloyd and its companions are welcomed in for cocktails and merriment. If, however, you're a great big dick, you can sing until the friendly horse ghost and its posse get tired and move on to the next house.
That would be the worst party
Wouldn't
pooper.
it? You're like, I'm gonna keep going forever. Like, that's terrible.
Or they just like accidentally took it too far and they're like, oh man, I thought we had a couple more.
Okay, bye. Mari Lloyd is out.
Yeah, sorry.
I know.
Sorry, Ben. See you tomorrow.
I know. Worst. So, yeah. And that's the challenge. Honestly, like, isn't that the most fun Christmas you've ever heard of in your life? Yeah.
Our goal was if John could have come this
Oh,
time,
yeah.
we were gonna like actually play this out.
We were gonna do this. We were gonna sing and chase people with the horse ghost. We were very excited about it, but unfortunately,
It would have been.
John could not be here this evening. But maybe next year we'll chase people around with the Monty Lloyd because she's not going anywhere.
Or if you see us show up with a horse head, don't be alarmed.
Pour some drinks and strap in because you're singing Christmas songs. That's how. That's how this is going.
I'm gonna go put my cloak on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Man, it's not the first time I heard him say that.
I know. So honestly, I've never really wanted to do anything more than this in my entire life. And if anyone wants to donate a real life horse skull to me, I will make the actual puppet. And next year we can make this shit happen.
Like and subscribe and
Yes.
donate a horse head.
Donate a horse skull, please. So why does this strange and wonderful event happen? Well, to be honest, nobody is totally sure.
Okay.
Which is weird. And for a good long while, it fell out of favor in Wales. But I'm glad to say that recently the Monty Lloyd has made a comeback, thanks in no small part to a chapter of the Welsh Historic Society that travels to schools all around Europe, handing out a flat pack, which is a paper construction kit, and having children, they're like a paper version of the Monty Lloyd, so they have children make their own, and they explain the tradition and teach them the traditional songs. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And so they go around from school to school teaching this, which I thought was really cool. In addition to educating the youth, these good folks have made their own Monty Lloyds and travel around Wales upholding the tradition at house parties and taverns.
Nice.
They are the most fun people, and I love them.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. Folklorist trace the Monty Lloyd back to the days of wassailing, which was just caroling for cocktails, basically, but without the horse head. So if you're wassailing at Christmas time, every household party would make a large bowl of a punch-like cocktail called wassail with a generous amount of spirits in it. The drink was usually spicy, orangey, appley, and hot, and everyone drank it, kids included. Everybody was drunk at Christmas, I know. Groups of people who could not afford to make their own wassail or just like to have a good time would assemble in groups and go from house to house asking for a cup or a bowl, as they called it, of wassail in exchange for a song. This tradition was popular in Victorian England, especially in the cider-producing regions, where the beverage would be made with a spiced cider, which sounds delicious.
That does sound really good.
Right? You get to sing a song, walk around outside, and then every house gives you free cider cocktails.
That should be like our hospitality night.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Traditional carols such as We Wish You a Merry Christmas and, of course, Here We Come a Wassailing became popular in this way. So that's why we know them to this day.
Okay.
Wales decided to make this fun tradition even better and crank up the dial by adding a badass mythological horse. Why they did that, though, is anyone's guess, to be honest. The words Monty Lloyd translate loosely to gray mare. Some say this is a reference to the horse of the dead, who would relay death and his passengers from this world to the next. Others say it's a leftover from the white mare Sinterklaas rides into some European villages. And also that horse is a leftover from the days of Norse mythology, when Sinterklaas rode into battle accompanied by two ravens on Odin's 8-legged white stallion. Yes. If that seems like a bit of a stretch, consider this. Today, the Monty Lloyd may seem pretty unusual, but in its heyday, hooded animals were popular. And a hooded animal is an animal head puppet on a stick, much like a hobby horse. And they were used in Punch and Judy style puppet shows. So they were very popular entertainment back in the Victorian days. So while it seems weird now, it wouldn't have been as shocking back then. Why they decided to make it a skull? I don't know, the Welsh are awesome. That's all I can say. Maybe they're just a little better at puppets and Christmas than the rest of us. No matter what its origin story is, the Monty Lloyd serves as a cheerful and haunting reminder that it's best to treat others with kindness, especially during the holidays, because if you don't, you never know what might come knocking at your door.
Oh my.
Yeah, so that's the Monty Lloyd. We love her.
That's so pretty.
She is pretty. I want to figure out how to mount her on my wall for Christmas.
Okay.
So, I love her very much. She could be a tree topper. That might go on top of our tree. My kids would probably be very mad, but I would love it. Where's John? He went away.
I know, but I wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh, Will's trying to give you a big reveal.
Oh, Will is so good.
I know.
I like having him here.
You ready?
John, are you done? So we're gonna have a grand reveal for John's Krampus. Here we go. Come on, Will.
Here we go.
I love that you're giving us curly chest hair.
Ooh.
You gave us.
It's my
Oh my, look at that chest. I love a man with chest hair, so.
You got some going on right there.
Man.
Yes, that's a man. Oh my god, look at the big horns. Today you were crafting horns, I was crafting the Maui Lloyd. We were having a craftacious time.
I was growing my ears.
It was a craftacious time is
Oh my
sure.
gosh, look at you.
Oh, you look amazing.
Whoa, everyone's saying it. Veronica, Lisa, everyone.
Yes, all 4 people that watched us tonight are
No,
into
we had a good
JK.
amount. We had a good amount of people.
Yes, you look great.
Thank you.
That was fantastic.
Oh my god, I love this. Please take a million glossy, beautiful pictures and TikToks and things and share them all over the
Yeah.
place. Because you look
of course.
fantastic.
Yeah. And if you want any, I'll send you some of the music if you want for any of the TikToks too.
Ooh.
Yes, because it's funny. Right before we started, I took a TikTok without this on, so that I could do a transformation TikTok after. So like we're speaking the same
Okay.
language.
Well, let us send you some of
Finger guns again.
finger guns.
I brought them back.
Let us send you John's haunting carols. Leslie will get that over to you so you
Yeah.
can use them. They're super fun.
I love.
Oh, Sarah's here. So Sarah, you saw you won.
Sarah, you won. You won the hoodie.
And she says you look so good.
I mean,
Thank
you
you.
do look
Yeah.
so good.
So does Cousin Nikki,
Mm.
sure, that's her name in there.
Cousin
By the way, if
Nikki?
you pulled it out, it would have been Cousin Nikki.
Nikki. John knows cousin Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh, Nikki, hi.
Yes. Oh, I love this. So that's all of our stories for this evening. If there's anything you guys want to chat about, let us know. Now it's just casual party time.
Yeah, now I have a drink to finish.
You do not have to finish
I know.
it. I gave you a gallon of bourbon.
Well, I also poured water in this just so everyone is aware.
Is it disgusting? I'm sorry.
No, it was good.
Okay.
I mean, I like bourbon.
Yeah, but we don't want Leslie to die in a car fire, so she's gonna be good.
I would have been safe. I will have.
She will have been. So how are we doing? Fiends who are still here, who held out,
Yeah, what's
held
up?
strong.
What's up,
Talk to
everyone?
us. Now it's a party.
Wow, I keep forgetting that he looks like that.
I know, the Krampus is here. He's very scary.
I wish I had a longer tongue. Like I really wish I had a longer tongue, but it's like.
We can do that in like post edit, right?
Yeah,
Can we,
put it
like,
in.
make a
Oh,
swoop?
yeah. Yeah, I'll make it really wild and
Yeah,
short.
we can do like
So
a
that I
Photoshop and like keep editing it down. Make it like a dark red too.
You just need like construction paper and a pipe cleaner.
Who does
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, my house is full of crafting supplies. You walked into my house last time and I was like, here's the glue sticks.
Here's a 12-pack.
I know, I crafted a festive horse skull this afternoon in 20 minutes. So that's how much stuff I have in my house.
Today, so I can't sew, but I got this like red piece of felt that's like 6 feet long, and then I got this like whatever this is, this fake fur. And the lady at Walmart today, she looked at me. She's like, "What are you getting? Are you making like a Santa Claus suit?" And I said, "No, I'm making a sexy Santa suit." And then I just walked away. And I was like,
Love it.
So yeah, this is Sexy Santa. Hello, it's me.
I like this. It kind of is a sex. Like, I don't know why this is turning me on.
So wait,
I think something
Oh,
inside of me
our
is like awakening.
Our contest winner is not here. Our contest
that's not-
winner is Sarah McDevitt. Not
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the same Sarah M.
sorry.
Sorry, that's Sarah. That's why she was like, it's not me, guys.
We're so sorry. We'll tell her
Sorry.
tomorrow.
We'll tell her.
But we do love sexy Krampus Santa.
It might be.
Whoop! We can't be held responsible any longer. I read all the things I wrote. In case you guys don't know, our podcast is very scripted, and we read all the stories. We read them, but then also we say silly things, so it's fun.
Yeah, so what's up? What's up, everyone?
Yeah, hey friends. Now we're just at a party.
Yeah.
This is the one Christmas party we get, and John has to dress like that. So
Listen, I'm comfy. I have sweatpants on. It's great.
Nice. I'm wearing tights.
I have leggings on under my dress. Don't tell.
Nobody's seeing my tights, and
No, Leslie has like a cute skirt on. I feel like you should stand up. You have like
Well, I
fuzzy
kept
boots.
thinking I did. I like got really.
Her whole,
well,
I'm
I
not
had to
standing
be
up.
in the spirit of it. Like I had
No.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Christmas tree earrings.
Yeah, those are nice.
Oh, they're so cute.
I don't remember where they came from. Oh, and my one headphone because we have to be able to hear John. You know. Will, how you doing over there?
He said good.
You can talk. You don't need to just give a thumb.
Talk
I'm
to
good.
us.
I was gonna say, did the sea witch steal your voice? You're just standing there staring at me.
Have it.
I don't know. But I'm loving this
I feel
Krampus
like-
look. It's also very true to the film, which I love.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what was crazy? I was looking at pictures of the film one, and the puppet never closed
No, it
its
doesn't.
mouth. It's just like the whole time.
Well, traditionally, any photo you ever see of Krampus, that's what he is. He just has this gaping like. Have you watched the like featurette on the special effects, how they make the puppet and stuff?
I had two friends who
Oh my
worked on
god, I love that equally as much as I love the movie. I love watching how they constructed all the stuff, especially
Same.
the crazy fucking toys.
Oh my gosh, they were so
I know,
cool.
I love that. By the way, I love Krampus, and now we watch it on Krampus now,
Ooh.
which is really fun.
Oh, do you
Yeah.
really? I love
So
that.
on December 5th, you guys have to watch Krampus. It's a really fun tradition.
That's
you can text
awesome.
me, and I'll be doing the same thing.
Cool.
You could just come here if you want.
Like with my popcorn. Hey.
We always have popcorn. Get out of here.
I'll bring my own. My air popped popcorn.
First of all, I always pop it in a pot on the stove, and I don't put butter on yours.
That's true. You're very kind.
I know. I know what Leslie needs. It's fine.
It's my one healthy, non-healthy snack.
It's because dairy is not kind to you.
Mm.
So
But that's just fat.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think.
Anyway,
I think we're done. John,
Yeah.
you look so good. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And thank
For having me. It's a
you for telling us
blast.
about Yule and all the
Mhm.
lads who ate yogurt and licked bowls.
Whew.
And maybe I'll post in the We Would Be Dead group about ways you could celebrate Yule if you want to celebrate
I
Yule
would love
this year.
that.
That sounds great.
Yes.
I'll put that in
Oh,
there.
how fun! I would love to do that. And also, do you ever make a Yule log cake?
For the first time I did last
you?
year. Yeah, and I don't know why it took me that long, but it was so easy. It's so
Are they
easy.
like a roll type thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like a jelly
Mhm.
roll. You just put it in a pan and then you roll it up in a towel after it's done cooking. And then you unroll it, you fill it, and then you roll it back up without the towel, and boom.
Did you
Like,
make
that's
the
it.
little meringue mushrooms?
I didn't, but I want to do that for a
Now
photo
you need
shoot on my
to.
Instagram. Yeah,
Will has looked
if
at
I have
those a couple
time,
times.
my
Every
3
year.
million macaron orders, I'm gonna do that.
When you have time one day, they're fun and cute, and that would be neat. And if you do, please share it to our group.
We'll team up.
I will, and I'll put a little deer skull near it, and it'll be like fun.
I would love that.
That's awesome.
I'm
Cool.
excited. Well, ooh, Merry Christmas, Merry Krampusnacht, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Yule, Happy Winter Solstice, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy what else did we just celebrate?
Do we say Mary Lou?
Marty Lloyd!
Maru.
No, it's Lloyd.
Oh,
Sorry.
Lloyd. Oh, Lloyd.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Mary
Lloyd like the name Lloyd.
Mary Lloyd.
Marty Lloyd. Yeah. The only thing I can say in that accent. Can't say anything else.
Well, so I'm learning Welsh right now because I'm crazy, and
Quarantine.
Yeah.
it's really, but it's such an interesting language because it's like literally to me it appears as though somebody just like took a bunch of letters and threw them together in the most random chaotic way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of words that like BWYD, and I'm like, what is that? It's very
Boyd.
strange.
Boyd?
So like
Boyd, probably.
Lloyd.
boy, yeah, it's like Boyd or something, and I don't know any of them.
Lloyd, because Marty Lloyd is spelled MaryLwyd.
Oh yeah, Lloyd. Yeah. Okay.
It's such an
I
interesting
had
language.
to listen to Welsh people say it. That's the only way I could have said it correctly. Because I remember, like,
Right.
the three of us had a meeting,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know what this horse skull holiday is, but it has no vowels and only consonants, so.
And sometimes why?
And sometimes why. So yeah, that's how you pronounce it. It's super fun. Guys, like, let's celebrate that.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, Happy
Yeah.
Three Kings Day. That is in January, and I do love that holiday.
Well, what's that?
Because it's like a Catholic holiday. The Three Kings Day. I think it's January 6th.
Okay.
And that was fun. My mom would always put like an orange, like I'd put my shoes out. My mom would put like an orange in it.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a really nice one. And
Oh.
we'd always have a Spanish priest come around that time. And
To your
he would-
house?
No, to my school.
Oh, I thought
Sorry.
Diane was like, bring in the Spanish priest. What?
Yeah, no, it was like a
Okay.
Spanish priest would come. He was like this like hot priest actually that would come.
Oh.
I can still picture it.
Mm.
That was grade school too.
Really?
Like I could so remember this guy. My first crush was a Spanish priest that would come once a year.
The Krampus is scandalized by you, by the way, which is not easy.
We're learning a lot about Leslie tonight.
We are, okay.
Harry Krampus and Spanish priest.
Merry Krampus, Spanish priest. Whatever is
Anyway,
happening.
good night.
Yeah, so Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Oh wait, we have to sign off. And if I'll do it on the cuff, and John, you're gonna have to say it with us. I will make a little eye contact. And if we were naughty, and the Krampus was in town,
We would be
dead.